What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, this is the DeLorean DMC 12 modded in by Payne, and as you can probably tell, we've finally gone for the Time Machine edition. We're actually going to make this the Time Machine version. We're still going to drag race it just for a bit of fun at the end of today's episode, but it's going to be awesome. Hopefully it's going to look insane. We're going to try and keep it looking relatively original. I'm still going to put a few custom touches on it with some colors and different things like that, but I feel like we're going to use a lot of this brushed aluminium, especially on that engine. Hopefully we can make that one look pretty awesome, especially with all them metal bits on the top there. Imagine all of that in brushed aluminium. Maybe not all of it. We'll try and spread it out a little bit with a few other pieces. Not sure what sort of a secondary color to do on this one. Yep, that stays where it is. That's the thing. Does that open? It does open on its own and separately, but there we go. Okay, that's a thing. This is awesome. It looks so good, and one of my favorite features about it is the hoverboard sat in the passenger footwell. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. Nice addition to that one from Payne. This is a stunning little car, and I cannot wait to get fully stuck into it. I'm just not sure what to do fully for a secondary colour yet. We'll find out as we go on a little bit later on. A little bit of housekeeping. We finally got the Mazda RX-4 onto the show car board, and sadly it's in 10th place. Right at the bottom of our show car board. It's not at the bottom of everything. The twin-turbo BMW was down there in 10th place, but it's a bit of a shame that it didn't quite make it. But 6 of you voted, so thank you very much to all 6 of you that voted. Definitely helps me out trying to get this board done. You can see the bit of inconsistency from votes there, but it's still cool nonetheless. So thank you to everyone who voted for that one. We got it onto the board. It does mean that it's not sat outside out the front, because that's only for the top 4 and the Huna Pegasus. But there we go. Let's crack on with this beautiful DeLorean DMC 12. Let's get in and have a look at it. As I said, it is the Time Machine edition. It's available from all of the places, so you can get it everywhere. And we picked up ours from the auction house. I seem to spend a lot of time in the auction house. Condition-wise, it's not too bad. We've definitely seen a lot worse. Did we get a good deal for it, though? Absolutely not. 18,385 is what we paid, and we can sell it right now for 17,351. Only losing out on 1,034. We may even be able to claw that back at the drag strip later, as long as we don't end up going forward in time to the future. I mean, it is a time machine after all, and it only needs to hit 88 miles an hour to get there. I'm pretty sure we can smash through that and then some. The engine in it is the V6 double overhead cam CHG engine, and that is the one we're going to keep in there because it kind of looks like it fits. So we go back round to the back, open up this engine cover. You can see it all fitting in there sort of nicely, not clipping with anything up here and things like that. So it looks good. If we just jump in, yeah, it doesn't clip with anything on there. Maybe clip with a few sides, and the exhaust doesn't fully line up. And it does clip through the alternator there on the exhaust. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that one, but it's one of them things. We'll leave it as it is. I'm sure there was some constraints that stopped him being able to do it. And obviously Pipes by Multy was not out when the DeLorean came out. And obviously I don't like to change too much. I like to show you guys how you would be able to build this one if you got it in your game. So there we go. Let's get started with the beautiful DeLorean. Let's get it into the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up. In the car wash with the Time Machine DeLorean, we can already see what colour it is. So let's just get this beast cleaned so we can start working on it. Obviously all that brushed aluminium on the body there. I think we are going to keep on with that theme. It's going to look fantastic. Is that a fender or is that missing? That is a missing fender. Both sides as well. Okay, fair enough. Let's get the interior done. Get this beast back on the lifter. Get the engine ripped out of there and start stripping our beautiful Time Machine down. Ready to hit up the drag strip just a little bit later on. The DeLorean's in the air. There is a big old oil pan right at the back, so we know we need to get that drained. So let's get started with that. Over to the car and out you come. Nice and easy. Not too shabby. There was quite a bit of oil in there, and I've definitely seen a lot worse. But let's jump in and see what we need to take out to get this beautiful engine out of here. I'm assuming we're going to need the starter for definitely. Out with the starter. Good place to start, pun intended. And normally it would say drive axles, but as you can see, I don't think this is built for these drive axles, so it doesn't make me. But I'm still going to take it off nonetheless, just for visual effect. There we go. And then out with the gearbox, and then we should be able to lift out that engine nice and simply. We've got no front... what do they call them? Downpipes. There we go. Words eluding me. No downpipes on this one, although we will take these exhaust pieces out of here because they are going to clip anyway. So that is just one of those things. But let's get it back down on the ground. Wrong side for that one. Down you go. We'll go grab the engine crane and we'll get that V6. And we'll get that V6 ripped out of there. Nice and easy. Open up the engine cover and get you pulled out. That is what we like. Nice and simple. Get you put away. And it does close the trunk piece as well on top of it. But we are jumping in now to see what we've got going on inside the engine bay. Wonderful floaty bolts. That is a thing that happens sometimes thanks to the TK Aftermarket with replacing parts. I believe that's where it comes from anyway. I'm not 100% on that, but it is just one of those things. Once it's in the car properly later, you'll never even notice it. So we do have an air filter in here, a coolant reservoir up here, battery and a fuse box. Are we missing anything from the actual engine bay? No, we are missing a few of the suspension parts, the upper arm and the bushings there, along with some of the shock. One drive axle on this side, we had the other one, and a bit of the brake set up in there. Doesn't look like anything else is missing up to that fuse box. Then we jump down to the front. We got the fuel tank and a fuel pump in there, a brake servo, our wishy-washy reservoir, radiator without a fan. Oh, no, with a backwards mounted fan housing kit. Okay, that's a weird one, but it is what it is. And again, we are missing a few bits. Keep changing mode. A few bits from that front suspension section on there, both sides, the shock, the brakes, and things like that. So we have got a bit of our work cut out, but now we need to get on and drain some of these liquids. I don't think I'm going to be able to reach this one from anywhere. Oh, it wanted me to have it then. There it is, so I can reach it. So right-click, normal mode first. Right-click, additional tools, drain tool. And then click on hold on whichever container you want to drain the liquids from. And it will drain them all out. Nice and simple. You all know that by now. So I'm going to crack on and get the rest of this drained. Then it all stripped out, ready to go. We're going to get everything replaced, repaired, or upgraded that we needed. And then when we come back, it'll be time to sort out the rest of this bodywork. Get this beast into the paint shop. And pick some colours for this one today. That's everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded, ready for our DeLorean DMC 12 time machine. But now we've got to start stripping it all down and find out where everything goes. So off with absolutely everything on the front there, nice and easily. Out with that hood. We didn't have the fenders, no door on this side. Doesn't look like any of this is trim piece. Rear right fender, off you come. And then as we go further around, we've got that engine cover. We've also got the trunk piece on there as well. A secondary engine cover that is the engine cover. And I think that's it for the internal bits there. Rear left fender. And then off with that rear bumper there as well. That also brought a whole load of stuff out. And then off with this door. And that might be everything apart from the interior. So let's just get in and get this interior out. Just the one seat. And we are going to be putting this one back together exactly as Payne intended. Everything on this one is going to go back as it was. Interior, the steering wheel, all of the body panels is going to go back looking exactly as it was. But before we jump into that, we need to go and see if I could get the right button. If we did get everything out, 1% on there and nothing showing up on there. We could have already checked actually because it gives me the option to change the frame with the quality of life mod. So we have well and truly got everything out. So now let's go and repair what we can repair, buy what we need to, and get this beautiful DeLorean all back together. Let's get this frame and bodywork all sorted, ready to go into the paint shop. First off, let's get the frame sorted. 46% is what it's currently at. And obviously, I bought it for a little over 18,500. What do we think today? I'm going to go for a classic 1,500 on this. Nice and easy. 500. Way, way, way off. Let's go and have a quick look at the DeLorean body shop, all the different things you've got to play around with in here. Starting with, obviously, there's the base engine cover. Then there's the secondary engine cover, which has got all of these bits on it. So we'll be going for the one of them that came on it to make sure this goes back together as it came apart. Front bumper, again, Back to the Future front bumper. That one's the same for all three, I believe. This one here, so that's for 1, that's for 2 and 3. I'm not sure which one we're building, so we'll figure that one out later. There's also a Ready Player One, the one in here as well. Doors, we're just going to keep it with the standard equipment, that brushed aluminium on there, looking fantastic. And the windows, we're not going to go for tinted because we don't need them anymore. Same for the front fenders, we're going to keep them as they are, but the Back to the Future ones, as you can see on there, looking good with all the extra pieces, liking that. Same for the other side, and obviously just the normal doors as well. The hood, I think we're just going to go for the no badged brushed aluminium. We've got, for what we want, brushed, no brushed, or this one here with the vent thrusts on the top. And I'm not a big fan of that one, so I think we're just going to go no badge, the normal version. The body windows are going to be them. Headlights, I'm going to go for some tinted ones. I think it's going to be these blacked out ones here rather than these chrome edges because the front's a little bit darker. So we'll see what that looks like when we put them on, see if we like them. Tail lights are going to keep it the standard ones. I did try popping these ones on, but I wasn't a big fan of them. The rear bumper, as we go on to that, there's your normal one. We're going to be going for the Back to the Future one, obviously. As for the clamshell, One of these, there it is the Back to the Future one that we'll be sticking with, and obviously the rear left fender and the rear right fender will be the Back to the Future ones as well. Body window, again, Back to the Future. We're going to put these parts on it that need to go on it. That one there we know we need, and just a normal windshield, I believe, and that's everything. So let's crack on, and let's get this beautiful beast all back together. We're going to start with the interior, because I have just left it exactly as it was. Seat 8, lever A on there, and the steering wheel is just steering wheel 10. We might change the colours on them a little bit later if we can, just to see if we can get it to match in a little bit better. But as for the time being, that's the interior. Let's get on with the rest of this then, starting with the front bumper. Obviously, the Back to the Future front bumper on there, looking good. And for the headlights, as I said, we've got them tinted ones. We may swap them to the chrome ones a bit later. Depends what everything else looks like when we get it all painted together and stuff like that. Blank license plate on the front there, looking good. And then we've obviously got our front fenders with them Back to the Future. All the parts on it going into all them different pieces, looking fantastic. Hood, as I said, no badge, and that brushed aluminium looking beautiful. The windshield, just the normal windshield. There's two. I'm assuming the other one is tinted, like the rest of the windows have a tinted option, but we don't need them. We go into here. It's the rear clamshell. You can get it from the back as well, so you don't need to. But while I've got no window in, I'm just going to pop the Back to the Future clamshell on. Then we'll get on with that door, window, just the normal window, and the mirror on there, looking pretty good. Rear fender, obviously the Back to the Future stuff. On you go, on you go. And let's get this door up all to the same spot. Window and mirror on there, looking good. And then that left body window, which is all the Back to the Future gubbins, whatever you want to call them, on there, looking good. Then we got our base engine cover on you go there with all of our fancy stuff. And we do also need that trunk piece up there as well to finish it off. Then we got the rear bumper on you go there. Obviously, that big old Back to the Future one. And let's just get a blank license plate on there. On you go. And then the right tail lights and the left tail lights. As I said, I keep it in with the frame just because it looks a little bit better on there. We did miss a body window on you go. And then one thing we've got to do is we've got to open up that engine cover to pop in the other engine cover. There we go, with the DMC DeLorean Motor Company badging on there as well. Close that back down. And I believe that's everything for this DeLorean, but I'm not 100%. So let's have a look. That's not the screen I want. 100%, 100%, 100%. It definitely is. We have everything ready for the DeLorean. So let's get it into the paint shop. And even though we're going to keep the brushed aluminium, I do want to try and get some of that brushed aluminium on these front bumpers and stuff. So we'll see what it turns out like in just a few seconds inside the paint booth. She's all painted, and well, it doesn't look any different, as you can probably imagine. I did try to get the brushed aluminium on the bumper, but it just would not work. So we just went with a steel black with it on the end. Basically, you weren't getting all of these brush lines in it. I think the angles of it or something like that, it was basically just looking like almost like a white piece on there instead of brushed aluminium. So I just went with a steel black just to sort of separate it up a little bit, give it a little bit of definition. And also, it's a colour we can carry on throughout the build. For example, I've now done the mirrors in a steel black as well, so it all blends in. And obviously, the same issue at the back there. We couldn't get this rear bumper to go the brushed aluminium either. Same problem. So again, we just went with a steel black on it. And I think that's looking pretty good. We did also do a little bit with that interior. I changed the colour of the centre of these seats and the edges of the steering wheel to try and better match in with the colour of that carpet in there. And I don't think I've done too bad of a job. It might not be 100% perfect, but it's about as close as you're going to get, just from a bit of guesstimation from eye work, basically. But that's about it. And it's all looking fantastic. The bolts and things like that, have I got anything I can quickly throw in so we can have it? Oh, there we go. We got floaty bolts, so I can show you them. We've done all of our bolts in a little red. So I think we're going to do a little splash of red on this build. Just a tiny little splash, nothing too over the top. Not that you're able to see any of it from the bodywork anyway, because the bodywork is all in that brushed aluminium and steel black, looking very good. Not sure what to do with the rims yet. We'll see that as we go. But for the minute, that is everything painted, and it is looking fantastic. So let's get this beast back on the lifter, start getting everything else painted, get some of that brushed aluminium on some pieces of the engine, hopefully make it look awesome, and then we'll get this one all back together, see if we can take it to the future on the drag strip. That's everything painted on the beautiful DeLorean DMC 12 Time Machine Edition, ready to go. Let's get in and see what sort of colours we've gone for underneath. You can already see that brake caliper there is in a very, very bright red. I'll just sort of go through the colours briefly. Most of the blacks you can see are the steel black from the Quality of Life mod. All of the reds you can see are the Force Red from the Quality of Life mod. And obviously all this brushed aluminium is the Forced Brushed Aluminium from the Quality of Life mod. One of the only things that isn't a steel black is this front radiator here. If you force that into steel black, you lose that texture. So we just went with a matte black on there. The little black accents on our suspension, they're obviously matte black as well, because you can't do two forced colors on one item. So yes, everything in here, pretty much nothing is technically painted a unique color. Everything is on the forced color, and I really do enjoy it. The bearings, the bushings, sorry, in the red, springs in the red, the sway bar in the red, and all the brake calipers, and all of that brushed aluminium, just dotted with a few splashes of that steel black for good measure. Down the back, it is identical. Everything is exactly the same. That brushed aluminium into the steel black, and then obviously onto that very vibrant red on there. The air filter and all of the colorings on everything are all that steel black, and then we've got some beautiful brushed aluminium clips on that airbox as well, looking good. And obviously our floaty red bolts that will disappear as soon as we get the engine in. So let's go and build that beautiful V6 engine. As we go into here onto the stand, it's already on there. It's got red, it's got brushed aluminium, and it's got steel black. The block itself is in a matte black / brushed aluminium. The oil pan is in just straight up steel black, and the heads are just straight up brushed aluminium all the way throughout. Then inside, you've got 2 camshafts on each side and 3 spark plugs on each side, so you need to double them up for the other side as well. And then you've got 2 camshaft bearings in there as well per side. We've done ours in that vibrant red just to finish it off and give a splash of extra colour. But let's crack on and get the rest of this engine in, starting with this front end. All of these cam gears are in that beautiful vibrant red, looking very, very nice. Didn't mean to zoom in on that one there. The idle rollers are all also in a beautiful red. On you go, on you go. Let's get all of these in. All of these apart from one, I believe. We'll get you down there, and then we need to get this cheeky little arm on, which is just in the brushed aluminium. In you go. Can I get the other one on yet? I cannot. A water pump in here, just in a little steel black, just to keep it looking nice. And then the crankshaft pulley is in brushed aluminium, but when we get the cover on it, it will look totally different. Trust me. Serpentine belt just blacked out on there. And we've also got a belt tensioner blacked out on there as well. Let's get all of these covers on, which are obviously in that beautiful steel black. And all of these little bolts going in. Once we drop it in the car, will be a lovely, vibrant red. Well, maybe not quite as vibrant as all the idle rollers and things like that, but it's still pretty vibrant red nonetheless. One or more idle roller just there. Then we've got the alternator in a brushed aluminium. On you go. And then the power steering pump in a matte black and brushed aluminium. Just keeping it looking nice, keeping a little splash of its red detailing on there. On with that belt, blacked out again. And then the very last idle roller just there, obviously in that vibrant red. Round to this side, our oil filter is in a cheeky little black. If we go around the back here, our fuel filter is in that vibrant red. And then we've got the thermostat in a matte black and brushed aluminium. Again, just some little black accents on there, looking very nice, but mostly in that brushed aluminium. Loving it. Let's get around to these heads then. On with the big main head. That one is in a brushed aluminium, looking fantastic on there. We get you all bolted up. We've also got to get our ignition coils in as well. They're in that vibrant red, just blending in with all the other reds on there. And the secondary engine head cover, that one is in a steel black, just to give it a bit more definition and colour, things like that. And I think that's looking very, very good. Round to the other side, let's get all of this in and all up to the same place. There we go, the ignition coil's in and both heads on this side all in. I think it looks nice with the sort of brushed aluminium on the outside, steel black in the middle, and then all that red underneath. But let's crack on with the intake manifold. That one is in a steel black in there, looking beautiful. On you go, separating the brushed aluminium from the top. Then on the sides here, we got the fuel rails. These are in brushed aluminium and a bit of black on there. Just really the bottom parts are in the black. Most of it's in brushed aluminium. And the caps on the end are both in a black as well. Intake manifold, same principle. That is in the matte black and brushed aluminium. I think it's only like one part just there that goes black. Oh, 2 parts, sorry, that go black. The rest of it in a brushed aluminium. But let's get this all bolted up together and on. We've only got a couple of pieces left to go. Around to this side is the throttle. Same principle, brushed aluminium and that steel black on there. Looking very, very nice. And then round to our exhausts. On this side, beautiful, beautiful steel black on there. And yes, the rest of the exhaust is going to be steel black, but it does have a little bit of brushed aluminium in there just for good measure. We will see it in oh yeah, forgot about that. The other side of this is broken because of the bolts that float around in the car. So that one just bolts up on its own. But there we go. That is the beautiful V6 all done. Brushed aluminium, steel black, and a little bit of that forced red. Looking beautiful. Let's get it off the stand. Let's try that again. Let's get it off the stand and let's get it dropped into the beautiful DeLorean. Let's get this V6 dropped in then. In we go. Hopefully it's going to look good. We're going to need to open that engine cover. Let's open this one, not the trunk piece. That one's already opened. We'll go into photo mode just so we can go up in the air. Oh, I also did that engine cover there in a brushed aluminium as well. But keeping all the stickers on it so it still says DeLorean Motor Company on there. And I think that engine's looking pretty good under there. It was all pretty black inside the engine bay. We've added a few splashes of brushed aluminium and a little bit of red just for good measure. And I think it is looking pretty good. And all of them red bolts on there just really accentuate it a little bit more. But there we go. Let's get that closed down. Down you go and down you go. Let's get this up in the air. Get our gearbox in. Get our drive axles in. And get the last pieces of that exhaust done. If we jump in underneath here, I don't want to go to body. I want to go to engine, really. But suspension will do. Gearbox around to this side. You are in a matte black and brushed aluminium going against that engine absolutely perfectly. Now, obviously, our rear drive axles, they don't quite line up. But again, we are using our imagination. We have to do it every now and then because some builds have a few limitations on there. But they're looking good. Then on to our rear mufflers. Now, these are two-tone. We've got it mostly in a matte black, but also we've got brushed aluminium tips. Oh, yeah, these aren't steel black. These are matte black, so that these matched. And then the brushed aluminium tips on the end there. And I think they're looking pretty good. On you go. Ignore the bit of clipping with the alternator there. One of them things we can't do anything about. But that's pretty much all of it. We just need to top up the liquids, get some wheels done. But before we do that, we need to wonder if we're going to tint our windows today. We've only really got the front ones because these aren't really back windows, so we won't play around with them at all. But let's get it over and see what kind of things we can do. I'll do the windows, and we'll see if we can change anything else, make it look just a little bit better. There is quite a few tinting options on this one, but most of them don't do much. If I just go on, the windshield there is at 60. The left body window, this one here, as you can see, it's got no colour on it. If we just move it up or down, it doesn't achieve anything. But we're not doing anything with that one anyway. Front left window, that's at 60. Front right window's at 60. The hood, I'm assuming you could probably tint out the badge because this doesn't achieve anything right now. The rear clamshell, I think this does change a little bit. I can't remember. Maybe this changes something inside, actually. But I can't see anything on the outside on that one. But front left door, again, that doesn't change anything either. Just go like that. Might change something on the inside, I'm not sure. The trunk piece is this piece here. We can tint this bit of glass here if we wanted to. We're not going to. We're just going to leave it as it was. The front left fender, I did kind of hope that this might tint this bit here. But again, it doesn't really do anything that I can see. If we go around front bumper, we can, and I have just tinted out the little yellow reflectors on there just a little bit. As you can see, we took them up to 30 just to give that a little bit more detail. If we carry on around, not doing anything with the headlights or the tail lights. Rear left fender is this one here. We can black out this one, but I think we should probably keep the red on there to show you that we can do it. But we're going to leave that one on there. And that is all of it. So let's get in and check if our window tint is suitable enough for drag racing. In we go. Actually, is a little bit dark. Maybe we should brighten that one up just a tad. I'll crack on with that, and I'll see you in a second. I brought the window tint down to 50 for the front and side windows on there, and I think that's looking pretty good. We should be able to see clearly enough through that while we're drag racing a little bit later on. But enough of that. Let's go and sort out the beautiful wheels for this stunning DeLorean. On we go into the paint booth. We've gone for rim 26 today. Absolutely fantastic on there. And what we're going to do is we're going to go for a little bit of two-tone. We're going to use a bit of our matte black that we have been using. But we're going to go onto the brushed aluminium for the rims all the way across. Where are we? There we go. Now, I just want to get a bit of two-tone effect. Maybe something that looks pretty cool. So let's have a look. Everything is everything, obviously. Mixed one is a full on the black. And is that brushed aluminium on the bolts or just silver on the bolts? Just silver. 2 is brushed aluminium everywhere with silver bolts again. 3 looks fantastic. Black rim, brushed aluminium fins on there. And the center hub, obviously, with silver bolts. 4 is a brushed aluminium rim, black fins, and brushed aluminium bolts by the looks of that. Maybe just silver, but I'm sure they'll turn out red on the car anyway. And then paint and mix is just full brushed aluminium. That's all of it. I think we're going to go for that one just there with the black rim to kind of make it look like the fins are floating against the tyre if we can. That's the goal anyway. So let's get them painted. On we go. Let's get them attached to some tyres. And then let's get them onto the beautiful DeLorean Time Machine Edition. Just balancing this last wheel now, and then we can get this side of the car finished and get this beautiful DeLorean all finished off. And outside in the sun. Let's get onto the rear wheels and see what we've got then. As I said, rim at 26. And for the rear, you want a 17-inch... Well, you don't want. I have gone for a 17-inch rim with a 245 tyre width and a 40 profile on there, and I think it looks pretty good. Obviously, on that two-tone rim with the black rim going into the tyre, kind of making it look like all them fins and vents are floating. And we've obviously kept the red bolts on the wheels there, looking good. For the front, same rim at 26, 16-inch rim for the front, 195 width, and a 40 profile on there as well. On we go. That same beautiful two-tone looking absolutely fantastic. I love that. And that should be this beautiful DeLorean all finished off. The windows are tinted. We just need to get some liquids topped up. And then we can get this beautiful DeLorean outside in the sun. It is looking fantastic. So let's crack on and get it onto the dyno, ready to hit up the drag strip. And hopefully we don't end up forward or back in time. Well, there she is then, all finished and looking absolutely beautiful. But we have got just a couple more things left to do. So let's get on with that. Off with that rear license plate. And then on with our replacement. The first time I'm not using my own, I've gone for a California plate without a time written on it. And as you can see, it is blue, like it should be in the film. Just a very dark blue. Probably not quite the correct blue, but very, very close. I'm liking that. Very fitting for this beautiful vehicle. Down we go to the front. We do also have a front plate on there as well, hidden behind that front section, but we're using it nonetheless. So on you go with our Out of Time and California plate on there, looking absolutely fantastic. I love that. Beautiful little addition to our beautiful little DeLorean. There she is, all finished, even with the red bolts on the rims. I think it's looking absolutely fantastic. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But now let's jump inside this bad boy and see what she sounds like. In we go. Beautiful interior in here. Every time I see it, I'm blown away by it. It looks fantastic. We've even got bits behind us that move. All the lighting up there. Obviously, you've got the speed going up to 88 miles an hour in front of you and then back down to 0 again. But let's get this one started and see what she sounds like. Nice V6 tick over there. Pretty grumbly, very throaty. Give it some gas. Sounding pretty good. A bit whiny at the top end, but still sounding absolutely fantastic. There she is, all finished. Let's get this beast onto the dyno, see what its horsepower is and what its drag rating will be. Here we are then on the dyno with our DeLorean DMC 12 time machine. Very custom, sort of custom, with a V6 engine pumping out 332 horsepower from factory. How much have we added today with our performance parts and tuning? Let's have a look. A gain of 244 horsepower, 74%. Not quite a full new engine, almost 3/4 of a whole new engine added on top, but bringing us up to 575 horsepower from this beautiful time-traveling movie car. Absolutely love it. Drag rating of A, 475 for this one. It shouldn't be, it's not going to be fast, like fast on the drag strip, but we should be able to still get some good runs in. Let's go and have a look at the gearbox tune we've gone for today. There she is. 3.8 is what we moved it down to. It started at 4.3, I believe, but all of these have been adjusted as well, trying to keep it as best as we possibly can. Still don't think it's going to be fast, as well as we don't have any performance parts added on for we've got performance parts, but no tunable ECU or carburetors in this one to tune. So I won't put a link up in the top corner, but they are still linked in the description. 2 short videos if you want to go learn how to easily tune the ECU and the carburetors every time without fail. Linked in the description below. Just go and find them nice and simply. But let's get on with this. Let's get our beautiful DeLorean onto the drag strip and hopefully not travel through time. Back at the Juneway Stripe Raceway with our DeLorean DMC 12 Time Machine Edition. Let's get on with it. King of the Sands, 1/4 of a mile. And obviously we are only just in, but we are in A-class and pay our 1,000 entry fee. Who have we got with us today? Our first race is against our good friend Killer 9009, or Payne, as he's more commonly known, in the Nissan GTR Varis Edition. Who else have we got with us up through here? Skin Gravel in the Rayfield Caliburn Neon Bronze. My brother, just Sam, in the Ford Fiesta Z-Tech Experimental, I believe that was meant to be called, but there we go. But let's get on with our first race against Payne in that Nissan GTR. The Time Machine DeLorean versus the Nissan GTR, which could probably fast forward in time with the speeds you can get from that absolutely crazy beast. Are we going to beat it? I certainly hope so. I hate losing in the first race. So let's find out Let's go. Come on, you little DeLorean. Let's do it. Off the line into second. Come on, you little beast, into third. I think we're in front as it stands at the moment. Hopefully it's going to stay that way and we will win our first race into top gear or fourth gear and across the line with an 11.179 seconds from our beautiful DeLorean DMC 12 with a top speed of 202 kilometers an hour. We did win our first race against that Nissan GTR. Sorry, Pi, but we know we got to try and get to that final. We got to try and win this, and you were an obstacle in my way. But you did all right with 11.954 seconds. We were a bit quicker with the top speed, but it is what it is. So we've won the first round. Let's get into round 2 and see who we're up against. We lost Pi, we lost my brother Just Sam, but Skin Gravel is still into the next round in the Rayfield Caliburn Blue Neon Bronze. Obviously, we're still in, and our next race is against the supercharged Shelby Cobra. That should be quite a challenge as well. So let's get on with it. Let's try and win and make it through to the semi-finals. That Shelby Cobra is so beautiful. Absolutely stunning car. I'd love one in real life. I'd also love a DeLorean in real life, to be honest. They're not the best cars in the world, but they've just got something about them. Some allure that I can't get out of my head. So I will always want a beautiful DeLorean. But let's see if we can beat the Shelby Cobra on the drag strip. Let's go. Come on, you beautiful little beast. Off the line. Into second. Into third. Where is our opponent? Behind us as it stands at the moment. Hopefully it stays that way. Let's get into fourth gear. Come on, and across the line. That is what we like. 11.156, only just beating out our first run. So this is currently our best run of the day with 202 kilometers an hour. Now, the Shelby Cobra was faster, but obviously its acceleration wasn't quite as good. Although, look at that. We were at the same speed by the time we hit the 1/8 of a mile. But by the time we hit the 1/4 of a mile, they were going a lot faster than we were. But we still managed to get the power down before they could. So I'm happy with that. We'll take the win. Let's see who we've got for the semi-final. We've lost Skin Gravel as well, so sadly none of our friends are still in this one. But we've got the Arezzo Cortana GTO, the Huna Pegasus, beautiful car. The Mercedes-Benz G-Class VM G63 4x4, I believe that's the one I created, versus the DeLorean DMC Time Machine. Can we beat that G-Class? We should be able to. It's a 4x4 beast, but that does also mean it can get the power down well. So let's get on with it. Let's go. I'm not going to lie, that beige off-white yellowy sort of thing on the G-Class with the black accents looks absolutely beautiful. Loving that. Slightly better than the DMC DeLorean, but the brushed aluminium does look absolutely fantastic nonetheless. Can we beat the G-Wagon? Let's go. Come on, you little beast. Off the line. Into second. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Into third. I want to make it into the final. We are beating the G-Wagon as it stands. Let's get into fourth gear and hopefully we can hold it. Yes, we can. And across the line. Was it our best run? 11.082 seconds. Definitely our best run there so far with a top speed of 202 kilometers an hour. And we have made it into the final. That G-Wagon probably shouldn't have got as far as it did with an 11.774. But it is what it is. That's what happens against random opponents. Sometimes you get a good opponent. Sometimes you get an opponent that's going to absolutely demolish you. But we've made it through to the final. Who are we up against? Let's go find out and see if we can win this beautiful tournament. For the final, we're against the Arezzo Cortana GTO, the DeLorean versus the Arezzo. Who's going to take this win? That's from the Drag Racing DLC, so definitely built for it. Can we beat it, though, on the drag strip? Let's go find out. The Ferrari, Arezzo is definitely a beautiful-looking car on the drag strip. It looks stunning. Better, definitely better, style-wise than the DeLorean, but it's a different kettle of fish altogether. But let's get on with our final race of the day. We're in the final. Can we win and take home all of the prize money? Let's find out. Come on, you beautiful DeLorean. Last race of the day. Into second. Come on, we can do it. Let's not jump forward or back in time. Into third. Where is the Arezzo behind us as it stands? Are we going to win with the DeLorean DMC? Yes. Yes, we are. We've won the tournament. 11.110 seconds. Not our fastest run of the day, but still very good, and we've won nonetheless. I'm surprised by a 12.372 from the Arezzo Cortana. Didn't really expect that one, if I'm being truly honest. The top speed was a little bit low as well. I thought you would do better. You've disappointed me. But anyway, there we go. Let's get back. Let's collect our prize money, get our beautiful time machine back to the garage, and then see if we could sell it on for some lovely profit. There it is. Beautiful prize money, 11,250. Obviously, we paid 1,000 to enter, 10,250, and that's already mitigated our loss of 1,034 at the very beginning of the episode. So we've already made some money, theoretically, minus what we've spent on the car. But let's get back to the garage, see where it's going to sit on the speeder board, and see if we could sell it on for a bit of profit. There we are then, all finished with the beautiful DeLorean DMC 12 Time Machine Edition. Now, unfortunately, we didn't quite make it into the top 10 on the speederboard, coming in 12th place out of 15 with the 11.082 to the quarter of a mile and a top speed of 202 kilometers an hour. Still pretty good, but yeah, not quite good enough to be in our top 10. But there we go. Let's talk some facts and figures about it. I bought the car for 18,385 at the very beginning of the episode and could have sold it and lost out on 1,034, but we obviously didn't do that. We spent a further 78,307 upgrading, modifying, tuning, and kind of painting this beautiful car, being our total spend at 96,692. Is there some money to be made from this beautiful DeLorean? Let's get in. Let's take a look. There she is, all 100% complete, and that V6 engine ramped up from 332 horsepower up to 575, a gain of 74%. But we did spend quite a bit to get there, 96,692. Can this beautiful car make some money? Yes, it can, with a sale of 120,613. Leaves us with 23,921 profit from this beautiful DeLorean, and modified in by Payne, A.K.A. DeadBob777. Looking fantastic. I will include a link to this in the description below so you can grab it yourself from the Steam Workshop if you haven't got it already. But there we go. Time for us to say goodbye to ours. We'll take our little bit of profit and be very happy with it. But what have we got coming up next? You can already see it on the trailer. This is the Reliant Supervan, or Reliant Robin, or something along those lines. Let's get in and take a look what it's actually called. The Reliant Supervan. And we've gone for the Sport Edition, hopefully giving us a little bit more power so we can try and have some fun with this one later. I'm not sure where we're going to take it, whether it be around the racetrack, on the drag strip, or something like that. Let me know what you think we should do in the comments below. Now, this is a brand new mod from Tim C2K, and it's available from all of the places, so we obviously just went and got it from the auction house, and it's not bad. I mean, the frame's pretty poor, but everything else isn't too shabby. We can definitely deal with that. But did we get a good deal? No, of course not. 10,027 is what I paid, and I could sell it for 8,751, losing out on 1,276 before we even begin. What is the engine in our Reliant Supervan? It is the i4 1.6 litre single overhead cam rear-wheel drive engine, pumping out a whopping 79 horsepower. That is going to be hard to top. As this vehicle is a little bit wild, which engine do you think we should put in it? Let me know in the comments below, along with where you want to see us testing this one, whether it be on the racetrack or on the drag strip. I don't think this is going to do well on the gravel track, so I'm avoiding that one. Racetrack or drag strip, let me know in the comments below, along with your choice of engine that we should slap in it, because apparently any of these are available for it. Things might not all line up perfectly by swapping it, but that is what it is. Let's get in and have a look. Now, obviously, some of you know that the Reliant Supervan, or the Reliant Robin, is a three-wheeler, and we have limitations in this game. I don't know if you can quite see it. In fact, I'm going to go into photo mode just so we can go and squeeze in a little bit closer so you can see that it is actually two wheels at the front. I mean, that is just to do with the limitations of the game. It probably could be done with bonus parts and things like that, but it does kind of take away from the build. Still absolutely fantastic. I'm looking forward to getting stuck into this one. It should be a lot of fun. So make sure you join us back here on Monday for the beautiful Reliant Supervan 3/4-wheeler. You know, it should have been a three-wheeler, but we can't quite manage that fully. But there we go. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, do leave a cheeky little like. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and double check that you are subscribed. And if you want to become a member, I'd very much appreciate it if you click that join button below for £2.99 a month, where I do share all of my private custom configs and liveries that I create for you guys, as well as that beautiful Barker's Custom, a McLaren. Yeah, McLaren? It is a McLaren. McLaren F1, you can just see sat down at the bottom of the screen there, the current speeder board champion. Where do you think we should display it? I've had a few suggestions. Someone says on top of the petrol station roof. I'm thinking of trying to build a little plaque just behind the show car board cars there, trying to get it on top of that one. And every time we get something new, it's going to knock it out of its place. So let me know in the comments below what you should think. what you should think. Let me know in the comments below what you do think. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful day wherever it is you're getting up to. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe for virtual mechanics.